On this channel, I support emotional and mental well-being through practices like creativity, art therapy, and mindfulness. Join me now as I show you how. Welcome to this session. In this episode, I want to show you in my art journal how to create mandala art and how that mandala art in turn can be used for personal art therapy and art journaling. So just paging through my journal, I'm going to just show you some examples of how I've done mandala work and the different materials that I've used to do that. Here it was just a freehand styled mandala that I drew with markers and I colored it in, and I just did a positive affirmation on the left hand side that reads, I'm open to giving and receiving love, and I'm also loving and lovable. And here's another example of a freehand mandala that I did with oil pastels. Here is another one I did with just doing circles and using different patterns to color it in. The applications for this type of mandala artwork is absolutely endless. So where does mandalas come from and what does mandala mean? Mandala is a Sanskrit word that comes from India, and this Sanskrit word literally means circle. And this circular art form really is found everywhere in nature. If you look around you, a flower can be an example of a mandala. But even inside flowers like a sunflower, you will find that in the core of the flower there is a mandala happening that is repeated, and you will find that same pattern repeated in all sunflowers. So in a way, it is a building block of life. A cell within our body can be a mandala. The sun can be a mandala. So anything really with a round circular shape with a design inside can be described in a way as a mandala. Now this Sanskrit word comes from India, like I said, and it was used or is used in meditation and in yoga. And then in that sense, this can be a meditative or a mindfulness practice where you become mindful of your state of mind, the quality of your mood, and it can then also as a completed project be something to gaze on in a meditation, or in the creation of a mandala be a meditation in itself. So that is very exciting. So without further ado, what we will need for today's exercise will be a compass with a pencil or a marker. You will need some colored pencils or crayons or any material that you prefer to color in with. You will need an eraser and you will need a marker. And I will show you two methods of how to create a mandala. You might also need, if you don't have a compass, you can also use a household object like a glass or a plate or anything round that you can trace with. So for my first methodology, I'm going to be using a compass. So I'm going to be showing you how to create a simple mandala using this tool. Obviously, with any of your designs, you can go as complex or as difficult or challenging as you would like it to be. But for today's purposes, I'm really just going to be doing a very simple design that is easy for you to begin with, and then advance from there. Right, so in using the compass, what we are trying to accomplish is first to create the circle that will form the main body of our design. So you use this pointy part of your compass to determine sort of the middle section of your page, and then you simply use the compass and just draw the circle by pivoting around that center point on your page. Now my pencil is a bit taller than my compass, so that makes it a little bit more challenging for me. Right, So for a simple design, I want you to imagine a cross through the center. If you really want to be meticulous, you can measure it and draw it in lightly with pencil before you continue. But like I say, there's no right or wrong with art therapy and creative practices like this. So we are just going to ring it. So I'm going to be drawing another circle. This might go off my page, which is totally okay. Like I said, there's no right or wrong. There we go. And going across the page to the other side. And these two circles should meet round about there. There we go. So now we're going to go down the center line of the circle, and we're just going to repeat this whole process. There we go. And at the top of the circle, you can always just check that you sort of meet the middle of the circle there. There we go. So without making it overly complex or difficult, we have a basic mandala design that you can then begin to color in. So now that we have a mandala design, the next part of this will be to color it in with your favorite colors and so forth. So I'm just going to demonstrate for you how simple and nice this exercise can be. So this is where you put on some nice music, maybe light a candle, burn some incense, whatever process makes this a nice experience for you. And you can just use your favorite colors to color this in and to begin to fill in your mandala with the colors that you love or the colors that complement your mood of the moment. Now, one of the places you will find beautiful mandala designs like this will be in the old cathedrals, where they do this in stained glass. And really these mandalas represent an aspect of heaven as well. And the most beautiful colors of glass that they use, colored glass, and then when the sunlight pours through them, it creates the most beautiful display of colored light within the auditorium. And I've always found that created a very beautiful ambiance and atmosphere in the church buildings. And that beautiful colored light is quite spectacular. So this is in a way creating a form of that for your own pleasure. So I'm not going to complete this entire design by coloring it in for you. I've got some examples that I will show you shortly of how that can look. And like I said, you can use any material to color your mandala in. You can use crayons, you can use paint, you can use pencils, you can use markers, whatever you have at hand or whatever tickles your fancy. That is completely up to you. Right. So now I'm going to be showing you how to create a similar mandala design that I used to create with my compass. And if you don't have a compass around, you can use any round object that you find in your home that is suitable for you. And in this case, I'm just going to be using a water glass, drinking glass from my kitchen. So for that, you will need your pencil. And I'm going to try and mimic what I did with the compass. So find the center point, just press down, and then just trace the object and when you lift it, you have a beautiful, perfect circle. So we're going to try and mimic that, just to try and imagine where the center point is. And again, if this is perfect, that's great. If it's not, it's really not the end of the world. There we go. I'm going to use it on the other side as well, touching the rim of the glass in the center there. Like so. And again, try and find the center with the edge of your glass over there. And then with the last part of the design, I'm just trying to see if I've got it in the perfect spot there. You can probably see better than me, but we're just going to ring it. Wow, that was spectacular. I've tried this a few times and it was usually a little bit off somewhere. And you have basically replicated the basic mandala that I've created with a compass on the other page. So again, just using your favorite color of the day or of the moment that you fancy, you can begin to color it in and create beautiful segments that is filled with the colors of your choice. And like I said, you can go as complex and intricate in your design as you decide and desire. There is no right or wrong. And as you do this more and more, you will find more interesting ways of using your tools to create a beautiful mandala. So another thing that you can look out for there is adult coloring books. If the actual creation of mandalas is not your thing, if you just want to get right into it, you get beautiful adult coloring books that you can buy online or in your local grocery store or even stationery or art supply store that has beautiful mandala designs done for you already. And then you can just choose the art material of your choice, like coloring pencils, crayons or markers. Even there's even beautiful ones now that's got beautiful water quality paper that you can do watercolor on, and you can just spend the time doing a mandala and coloring it in to your heart's content. Now, some of the benefits of this methodology of art therapy is that it helps you to become mindful and completely present in the present moment. While you are coloring, what is happening is you are switching from your overly thinking left brain that is over analyzing everything, and you are switching to your right brain, which really deals with color and texture and patterns and symbolism and so forth. And you begin to process information, experiences and so forth that normally you would process while you are sleeping. And in doing so, you relax the body, you boost your immune system, you create a beautiful emotional template for yourself where you are more resilient to deal with whatever life is throwing at you in the moment. And it also is a means to just silence that critical nanny that resides in all of us, that tells you that this isn't looking good, this isn't worth the time that you are spending on it, you should be doing something more productive and constructive. My advice for you is just to silence that critical nanny and to enjoy doing this mandala work. So in my next video, I will also be showcasing you how you can use mandala art as a means of a creative journaling, to just begin to note your emotional states and your mood, the quality of your mood, and eventually that becomes an amazing reference tool to start to reference how you are doing in general, emotionally and mentally. So join me in my next video where I show you how to use this tool as a journaling tool or method. So remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you receive a notification when my next video will be out. And be sure to drop me a comment and feel free to share my video if you found this content at all useful or helpful or interesting. Thanks for watching.